This week on the Brody and Mo In-Law Show.
We have a 7-foot center. He is searching for a lot of money. Is he worth max money?
Are you willing to lose Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges in order to sign DeAndre to a max contract? I caught myself doing that, and I thought to myself, just let people like things. Maybe you're the one who's wrong, Dad. Dell Computers.
Yeah! All right, Dell.
You have a 12-year-old MacBook Pro, and you've decided it's become too unreliable for you. Go out and buy a Dell laptop, because then you'll completely shift your thinking and realize, actually, my 12-year-old MacBook Pro is more reliable than this brand new Dell computer. That's going to crash, wreck your entire podcast template, and destroy everything that you've worked for the past 2 weeks to set up. Yeah. Brody, our Eagle Eye... No, what would it be? What is the what's the auditory equivalent of eagle-eyed? Like what animal has really good hearing?
A
bat? A bat?
Bat has sonar. So I mean that's pretty good, right?
Our bat-eared listeners will probably have noticed.
If you or anybody you've ever loved has ever been a bat, this is the podcast for you.
Call 1-800-BAT-BE-GONE, because there's a real problem.
That would end Batman's career if that existed. Could you imagine if the Riddler was just like 1-800-BAT-BE-GONE? Poof, he's gone. Then you could destroy the city.
It's been this easy the whole time.
All those comic books. I knew DC.
What were we talking about? Our bat-eared listeners will have noticed that last week's episode did not include our normal celebrity intro from Chelsea
intros. Yeah,
that was destroyed in the move from the ostensibly unreliable MacBook to the new Dell. I just ran with this song. I didn't have all of my old templates to work with. So, we were building from the ground up, but I had a decent little template going in the new computer, and that's all gone. Just completely destroyed.
Really?
So if you love files, if you love saving things, if you love bits and bytes and RAM, don't buy a Dell.
So I'm glad you brought this up, because I believe in honesty, and I'm not going to lie to you, Mo. I did not know Dell still existed. So you taught me something today. Okay. You taught me two things. Not only does Dell exist, but also don't buy it.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Perhaps we would all be better served to live in the fictional reality you've created where Dell does not exist.
Well, it was a fictional reality, but it was my real reality. So I'm just going to continue on with my life and pretend they don't exist.
See, this is deep. Is reality a construct of the mind?
And you lost me.
Brass tacks here. Bottom line. Should have stuck with my ancient creature of a MacBook.
Yeah. Yep. That's the moral of the story.
Speaking of ancient creatures, that's a segue that I planned ahead of time.
Speaking of ancient creatures,
I watched a fair portion of the new Seattle Kraken in their introductory hockeyman match the other day.
Yeah, that was cool.
I felt like I was going to try to get in on the ground floor of a new team, so that if they were good, I could claim them to be mine, like Vegas was a couple years back.
Yeah.
They were not. They could have won that game, but as soon as I started really getting invested in it, they gave up a goal within like 30 seconds. Pretty sure the dude kicked it. They reviewed it.
Oh,
and said that he didn't, but
moved his skate.
I've never seen a more blatant. Like, I know hockey, Brody.
Yeah.
Been watching it for a long time.
Yep.
Deeply invested.
Yeah, you're a historian of hockey.
I am. A connoisseur, a savant of hockey.
It dates all the way back to like 18 months ago.
I think it dates back to yesterday when I watched the Kraken game.
Everything from that before then is gone.
So hockey's back, as
It is
are
back.
your beloved Arizona Glendale Coyotes. Talk to me about what's happening in this season with the Arizona Coyotes.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, it was blatantly obvious that they're in a rebuild, right? Like they shelled everybody off, loaded up on picks. Finally, they got a first round draft pick this year. They did a lot of stuff. In this complete rebuild, you're going to go through mega growing pains, just like U of A football is. So there's no secret about it. I think that tonight was lost 8-2. They were down 1-0 in the first shift of the game. Within a minute, they were already down 1-0. First minute of the second period, they were down 3-0. So, I mean, that's to be kind of, I think, going to be expected the rest of this season. I think that they're going to send Phil Kessel at some point. I think his time in Arizona is done. And the reason why is he has been on none of the marketing. Like, they have not shown him on anything.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm thinking they've already tried to put something in the works to try and get more picks. From what I've read a few articles, this next upcoming draft and the one after that is super stacked with talent. So I'm imagining that the Coyotes are going to just build up more and more picks for the next 2 years to really bring home some of these like franchise type players. So this year is going to be rough. Everybody knew it. I mean, I think 8-2 is going to be kind of the benchmark, if you will, for this season. Like, that's what it's going to be. You got a really great young core. Jacob Chikrin's a really good young player. Nick Schmaltz is another really good young player. I think they need to deal Clayton Keller also. He's overpaid to try and get out of his contract to get some picks at some point.
Is there anybody that wants that contract?
That's the thing. I don't think anybody's going to be willing to take that on. He's just kind of hasn't panned out to the extent that Arizona was hoping for. So you have to find somebody that's going to want to take on that contract, or you stick with him. So it's going to be one of the two. Oh boy, the goaltending looked really bad.
Yeah, 8 goals is not a great number to give up.
Well, here's the other thing I didn't understand too is they're down 7-1 and they pulled the goalie to get an extra attacker. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, the game is over. Like, there's like 6 minutes left in the game. What are we trying to do here, guys?
That was that
like,
early? It was 6 minutes left.
Something like that. 5-6 minutes. Like, what are we, the game is over. Like, what are we doing here? So I don't.
It's the Galaxy Quest offense, baby.
I
Never
guess.
give up, never surrender.
And I'm okay with that. And so that's a good little young team, but this is, I think, just going to be the season. I'm really anxious. I'm really interested to see. I had some friends texting me during it, like, where do we think they're going to move next year? Because they're not going to stay in Glendale. They've wanted out of Glendale forever. Man, I don't know. I hope they stay in Arizona, but
will you still be on their will you still be a fan if they move, or will you pick something different? Will you come join me on the Kraken wagon? We're working on the name. Kraken wagon doesn't really flow off the tongue.
I was like, are you proud of that one? I would still root for them but it would be a completely rebrand. It would be like a new team, I would imagine, right? Like, if they moved to Quebec City or they moved to wherever, they'd probably do a complete rebrand, because I can't imagine they're going to be the Quebec City Coyotes. So it'll be interesting. I'd probably still cheer for them. I'd watch them for sure. The Kraken's got a cool logo, though. they've got cool setup. I do like their stuff.
I'm all about them. I'm all about it.
It pains me to cheer for anything from Seattle, but I guess if I was going to cheer for Seattle, it would be the Kraken.
Oh, dude, I was trying desperately to come up with something better than the Kraken bandwagon. They've already got it. Twitter's already all over it, and it's the Crackheads.
Oh, yeah. How is that not available?
Oh, that's perfect.
The Crackheads. Do you fancy yourself a crackhead?
I do. Do you not? Get on the Crackhead bandwagon.
I have fallen on the wagon. Very much fallen on the crackhead wagon.
Make sure you spell it correctly, though, because I don't want you to Google actual crackhead. Hashtag real crackhead is not where you want to be. You want to be KRAK head.
Oh, KRAK head.
Yeah.
I'm a crackhead. I would cheer for them over Vegas. I can't do the Knights. I can't do anything from LA. That is a no-go. San Jose's okay.
No. I don't like them either.
They're okay. They're not my favorite. Calgary is like a second home to me. So
there you go.
I could cheer for them. I like Washington too because I like Ovechkin.
Too trendy, too mainstream. Calgary is where it's at, man. You've got real connection to that.
Okay, I do have a good connection. So like that's what I'm looking at. Like, is there a connection there? So Calgary. I basically only like Washington because of how Ovechkin partied so hard after he won the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much where my allegiance lies. Because I saw that guy drink like Dom Perignon straight out of the cup.
Inspirational.
In gallon form. So I think I think that's where my allegiance lies to him. But
do you hear this, Arizona? This is what happens. You move the franchise, and the Brody and Mo In-Law Show relinquishes any connection to you. We go to Calgary, and this is your final warning.
We have spoken. Very interesting point this week, Mr. Schlittenhardt over there.
Yeah.
We have a 7-foot center on the Phoenix Suns who graduated from the University of Arizona, number 1 overall draft pick, DeAndre Ayton. He is searching for a lot of money, like an absurd amount of money, like a max contract type of money. So my question to you is he worth max money?
No. Now, let me qualify that answer. I don't think his play warrants a max contract when you take it into consideration with other players in the NBA who have a max contract. That being the case, the market is what determines what a contract is. Mm-hmm. And you made this point to me when I said I told you this answer before, and you made the point that it's not necessarily about the play, it's about the market, and it's about how does he fit in with the team. And he it's pretty clear he's a critical cog in that team, and you take him away and it looks very, very different on offense and defense, really. I mean, even when he wasn't scoring in the playoffs last year, he was still making an impact, particularly on the boards. That's where he really seemed to change the sway of a game, is rebounding. He's a good free throw shooter. He can move the ball inside, outside. He moves without the ball really well. Yeah. He is a 7-foot center in an era when that's kind of going by the wayside, so he's a bit of a unique bird that way. So do I think that he's a good enough player to warrant it when you're looking at guys like Harden and Curry and LeBron and even centers like Giannis and Jokic? I don't think he compares to those guys, but I think that the market dictates that, he is worth it. And the Suns are foolish if they think they're not going to do that, right? Like to get rid of DeAndre Ayton, who was the centerpiece of your draft, and then since you've had him, you've built around that. Like, that's just not a good PR move in the long run. Marketing wise, it's going to bite you. So yeah, the answer is no, but the realistic answer is you have to.
You took some of the points that I was going to bring up. I'm going to say he is worth it, and here's my rationale why. And to use your own words, it's because you have to. And I approach it from the way of, if the Suns want to be equally as competitive as they were this year, they're going to need a player like him to get through the West, because the West got better, like a lot better. The Lakers are, a cheat code. The Nuggets are still going to be really good. The Jazz are going to still be really good. They've returned a lot of pieces. So like you need a 7-foot athletic basketball player to compete with the West. And, Ayton probably knows that, and he can get this kind of money somewhere. And the Suns need him, because who else are you going to get as a 7-footer that can do what he can do? That's as progressed. Think about from his first year to now, how much he's progressed. You mentioned footwork. I mean, his footwork looks really sharp. I thought his footwork looked really good coming out of college, but it got even better. He was a monster on the boards throughout the playoffs. And I think that he has done enough to warrant getting paid for, because the Suns, to paraphrase what you just said, have to. They have to, because I don't see another option. They're really shallow at the center position. We saw that when Saric went out. He had to log a ton of minutes. Ayton had to log just a ton of minutes to make up for it. So I think you pay the guy. I can see why the Suns don't want to. I can see why they don't, right? He isn't some of those names that you just listed, the Currys, the Hardens, the mega huge paying guys. But at the same token, if you want to be competitive, if you lose him, you are going to have a lot of other players that are probably going to want out as well.
Are you willing to lose Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges in order to sign DeAndre to a max contract? Because I think coming down the pike, that is your opportunity cost.
I think I would not want to lose Cam, because I think he is a really good and could be a great guard. And Bridges played his heart out during the playoffs. So, it would be painful for those two, but it's easier to get a wing than it is a 7-footer.
True.
I want to keep all three. I want to keep all three. I really do. And I think you're right. And I don't think that there's a logical way in which you're going to, this for longevity and sustainability's sake, I don't think you can keep all three. But at the end of the day, wings you can find. There's deep wings out there. There is not very many 7-footers that can move like Ayton without having to pay him.
Yeah, it's the market, man. The market's dictating it. You're a relic of a bygone era, but you're also a very unique player. You're gonna command that kind of stuff. I
mean, a 7-footer who's not Shaq level I think the Shaq, Ben Wallace, bruiser type center might be gone, because you need a guy that can do what Giannis does, what Ayton does, that can stretch the floor, but also yet still post up. I mean, Ayton had a good post game too. So I think if it boils down to it, you probably are going to forced to lose one of those two guys, at least one, to keep Ayton. So that's where you lie at.
All right. I don't like it, but I can accept it.
I mean, I don't like it either. I don't want to lose either one. I think Bridges and Cam were awesome. They're great basketball players. And a good stone to have on the court when you need them. But there's other wings out there.
Yeah.
So where do you want to spend the money? I don't know.
Yeah, see, you're right. I think we need to start yelling at each other more. These are kind of
too calm.
Not these non-confrontational ways of going about things. They're sort of boring. Do I just need to cut in some Stephen A. Smith right here?
Yeah. This is Stephen A. Smith time, and I think that's the whole premise of Twitter also.
last time I talked about the daddest thing that I do is my newfound affinity for squeegees.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm starting to recognize these things in my life that I do that are just unbeknownst to me and subconsciously, like, they're just real dad
You're
stuff,
just
man.
steering into the skid hard.
I am. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just who I am now. I like try to catalog some of these things as the week goes by, thinking, oh man, that'd be kind of funny for the podcast. And then I start looking at my just normal daily life. I'm like, it's bad. There are too many things to catalog.
I forgot that I was doing this for a podcast. This is just my life
yes,
now. This is
is
just the way I am.
It's just who I am
no.
now. So I was debating between two of these things for the daddest thing I do this week.
Okay.
Runner-up was...
You can't even talk about it.
Yeah, dude, the runner-up was... I wanted to get a special box for all my good flashlights. Because I was sick of every time I wanted one of my good mini mag light or my good LED flashlight, I can't find them because they're just scattered, helter-skelter around the house. Who knows where they've been? They've got peanut butter all over them because Posey's playing with them. The batteries are dead because she leaves them on. Like, I need to get a good special box for my dad lights.
That Posey's not allowed to be in.
Yes,
this is
no
dad
one can
box
touch
of
it.
lights.
Just
you can have all the other ones.
Take your flashlights wherever, but the good special boy lights stay here.
I think a dad thing though with that is a dad once told me, and this is at first you don't understand it, and now you become a dad. You're like, yeah, it makes sense, but you can never have too many flashlights.
No, it's
so,
impossible.
I'm kind of with you. I have flashlights everywhere. I'm never more than an arm's length away from a flashlight. But you're right. You need a good place for them. I see your point. That can be frustrating.
The power hasn't gone out at my house in, I don't know, I would say 1 in every 25 thunderstorms the power goes out of my house. If I even have an inkling that there's lightning within a 300-mile radius of my house, I make sure there are a number of flashlights, any number of my good flashlights within arm's reach because you're going to need them.
This is it. You don't know. What if it hits the transformer and everything goes and this becomes the purge and you don't have a flashlight?
Exactly. You get it. Okay, maybe that's not my runner-up. Maybe I'm just going to stick with that because this is pretty dad.
That is pretty dad. That is pretty dad. But now that you've said it was a runner-up, we have to hear the winner.
I mean, I'll just give you the other one, and it's taking the cool new thing that everybody likes and is talking about and analyzing it down to tell everyone about how it sucks. I don't know if you're familiar with Squid Game. Have you heard of this?
Going around the worldwide interweb, but I haven't watched. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more viral than COVID at this point, and people are saying it is the greatest thing Netflix has ever purchased or ever put out. It's been number one on their trending for like 6 weeks now. It's held the record for that. It's not good, bro. It's fine. It's fine, okay? It's fine. Yeah. It's not the be-all, end-all, and I could give you the litany of reasons why it isn't. I won't go into them here, but like it's fine. It's whatever. And I caught myself doing that, and I thought to myself, just let people like things. Maybe you're the one who's wrong, Dad.
That's a dad thing. You have to prove them in something that affects you in literally no way, shape, or form.
That's
like
the key,
people
right?
can go and watch Netflix and it makes no impact on your life in any way, shape, or form. But dadgummit, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yep.
And you cannot like this anymore because I don't like it.
Yep. Art is objective.
That's it, right? Yeah. So does this Squid Game have a crazy redneck from Oklahoma chasing tigers? Because if it doesn't, then it's not the best thing on Netflix.
This was one of my arguments, is that Tiger King exists.
They can't say that was the best thing that Netflix has ever purchased when Tiger King is there.
Yes.
Like, you can't. That's probably the best thing because it came out at the perfect time when the pandemic first hit and we needed something to distract us. And we were like, look at this crazy Oklahoman that hangs out with a bunch of tigers and talks about that Carol Baskins.
And before anybody cries, documentary is not the same thing. Stranger Things is on Netflix and it's a much better show.
Agreed. That's a great show, and I haven't even watched Squid Game yet, or Squid whatever it's called.
It's fine.
So I watch that
if
one.
you've seen The Hunger Games, you've seen Squid Game. Like
okay.
It's the concepts
Carbon copy.
are so similar. There's nothing new under the sun. I get that, but like, it's not breaking any new ground, and people are talking about it like it's a revolutionary thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's entertaining, kind of gory, but like whatever. It's not that great. It's fine.
Dude, Stranger Things, it's hard to top. That's one's hard to top. So if you're saying that it's better than that, I don't know. I guess I would have to question
Stranger
that.
Things is better.
I will say the daddest thing that I did this week. This week I went on a little mini vacation to Texas, and I had to make sure that we took the stereotypical photos at all of the stops.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like we had
Scenic
to take
vistas.
Yes, we had to stop, and like I had to point out things that obviously everybody have seen and knows what they are, but we have to look at them, and you're gonna enjoy them. And it's like, look, guys, these are Texas Longhorn cows, and they're like, yeah, I've seen them before. Like,
Did you include some historicity with that too?
Yeah,
like,
you got to be like,
yes.
these things are the second largest horned animal in the world besides the Watusi. Like that kind of stuff is you have to include, and it's like they don't care.
Perfect.
Nobody cares, and you're like, but I have to. You like eat at the same restaurant, but we got to take the same picture where we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I dadded out pretty hard on a lot of those things, and like get excited over stuff that obviously teenagers or youth are like, okay.
Sure. That you have to, because you have to train them to get excited about it when they're our age.
That's it. It passes down.
Right.
So that was one. I also got really excited to, this one may not be so dad, but I got really excited to, help drag a field. Like we rode in a gator and we drug a field, and I just talked with, the guy driving for like 40 minutes, and it was the best 40 minutes I've had in, like ever. And you're just like sitting there talking about everything that's ever happened under the sun. And so I think getting excitement over mundane tasks.
Yeah, for sure.
Is where I'm getting at, because like, oh man, I had a blast. I had so much fun. And like, I think back to years ago, and you're like, man, like I would be wanting to go on to the next thing, but I'm like, man, I can't wait. Oh, we got to go back and go do that patch over again. We got to go back and re-drag it.
All right.
Because I'm not done with the ride yet.
Nope. What do you have for us? What do you have for us for the number for this week? We don't have any guests on so far in season 3, so we have to pick our own numbers.
I know this is the pressure part. This is where you get paid the big bucks to come up with these numbers. And my number this week is going to be the number 10. And the number 10 is because I am currently in a fantasy football league of 12 people.
Oh boy.
And I am number 10.
Oh no.
My team is driving, riding, building, exporting the struggle bus right now. But more importantly, I am currently beating Phil. He's 11th. So I guess it's going to be okay.
I feel obligated to let our fan base know that Phil did confirm that Team did end up winning the title. That was not something that we just made up. It was not fabricated. The man is a champion.
Yeah. But I'm still beating him in fantasy football.
Yeah, not at fantasy football, but
I think we play each other in a couple weeks. It's going to be a rough one. So
a real clash of the Titans.
A clash of the Titans of the bottom of the barrel. Let's do it, It's going to be rough. So, that's my number 10.
10 it is.
10 it is. All right, here we go. And da 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 and da 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 two and da 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 two tolerant here da 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 two da 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 two and da 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 four da 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 now six and da 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 six tolerant here da 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 six da 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 eight and eight tolerant here da 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 eight da 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 eight now 10 and da 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 10 10th place and da 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 12 and da 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 12 and a half here da 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 12 sold it 10th place but not for long.
Not for long. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Brody and Mo In-Law Show. Season TBD, season three-ish. Is threet anything?
We're three-ish.
It's like three and threat and sweet and treat and kind of like, it's bad, dude. Season 3 is really bad.
I wasn't following you on that one.
Season whatever this is, 20XD3. Thanks for listening to whatever it is we're doing here. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Twitter at InlawShow, or you can email us at bmils2020@gmail.com. Otherwise, we'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys.